Captain Jennifer Hayes stood at the window of Houston's Space Defense Command, her heart racing as the massive shapes began breaking through the cloud cover. The alien ships were unlike anything human eyes had ever seen, crystalline structures that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it, each one large enough to cast city-sized shadows across the Texas landscape. Multiple contacts, Mom. Lieutenant Rodriguez called from his station. We're tracking 37 capital ships and, God, over 200 smaller craft. His voice cracked slightly, but his hands remained steady on the controls. Jennifer forced herself to breathe slowly, drawing on years of military training. Status of Project Thunderbolt. All systems green. Colonel Marcus Thompson responded from the Research Division's secure line. But Hayes, we've never tested it against anything like this. The simulations. The simulations don't matter anymore, Marcus. She cut him off. This is what we built it for. The past 3 years had been a race against time. When Earth's long-range sensors first detected the approaching fleet, the world's governments had united with a single purpose: survival. Project Thunderbolt was the result, a weapon system that pushed the boundaries of human innovation beyond what anyone thought possible. The first alien transmission came as their ships entered low Earth orbit. The Universal Translator, hastily constructed based on mathematical principles, rendered their message with chilling clarity. Primitive species of Sol 3. The voice was somehow both mechanical and coldly organic. We are the Drachnid Empire. Your world has been chosen for resource extraction. Surrender now and accept relocation, or face immediate termination. Jennifer watched as the UN Security Council's response was transmitted, a simple message of peace and welcome, buying precious minutes as Thunderbolt systems came fully online. The aliens' dismissive response was expected. Your primitive weapons cannot harm our ships, the Drachnid commander stated. Our shields have never failed against species far more advanced than yours. Jennifer allowed herself a grim smile. That's because they've never faced anything like this. She keyed her command override. All stations, execute Thunderbolt. Authorization Hayes Alpha 70. What the Drachnid Empire didn't understand, what their scans couldn't tell them, was that Earth had taken a different path than most civilizations. While other species focused on energy shields and plasma weapons, humanity had perfected the art of kinetic warfare. Project Thunderbolt combined railgun technology with smart projectiles and quantum-guided targeting systems. The first volley launched from hidden silos across the globe. The Drachnid ships didn't even attempt to evade, their shields gleaming with confident power. Then the smart rounds hit, each projectile, traveling at a significant fraction of light speed, carried a payload of exotic matter. The shields, designed to deflect energy weapons, had no defense against weapons that changed mass and quantum states mid-impact. Direct hits on multiple targets. Rodriguez shouted as the orbital displays lit up with explosions. They're shields. They're not even slowing the rounds down. 3 of the largest ships broke apart in spectacular fashion, their crystalline structures shattering as Thunderbolt rounds tore through their previously impenetrable defenses. The remaining fleet scrambled to respond, but their tactical doctrine had no framework for what they were experiencing. They're launching fighters, Thompson reported. And something's wrong with their formation. They're moving like they're confused. They are confused, Jennifer said, watching as Earth's defense forces pressed their advantage. Everything they know about warfare says this should be impossible. Our primitive technology just proved their assumptions wrong. As the battle raged, Earth's intelligence teams were already at work. Every destroyed ship, every burst of communication, every flicker of their advanced technology provided data that would help humanity take its next steps into the stars. The Drachnid Empire had come expecting an easy conquest of a pre-FTL civilization. Instead, they had awakened something far more dangerous, a species that had spent its entire history perfecting the art of war. By the time the remaining Drachnid ships fled, trailing debris and radiation, they had learned a costly lesson. Earth was not the easy target they had expected. And humanity, far from being primitive, had just announced its presence to the galaxy in a way that could never be ignored. Captain Hayes watched the last enemy ships disappear into FTL, leaving behind the wreckage of their once proud fleet. "Send word to the Security Council," she ordered. Tell them this was just the beginning." Major James Anderson stood before the gleaming hull of humanity's first true starship, the EDF Prometheus, his reflection warped across its experimental armor plating. 6 months had passed since the Drachnid invasion, and Earth had not wasted a single day of that time. "The hybrid drive system is ready for testing, sir," Lieutenant Sarah Parker reported, her tablet displaying a complex array of diagnostics. "We've successfully integrated the salvaged FTL components with our modified nuclear pulse engine." James nodded, running his hand along the ship's hull. "How many said this was impossible, Sarah? That we couldn't combine their tech with ours?" "Pretty much everyone at first," she replied with a slight smile. "Until you showed them the test results from Project Phoenix." The underground facility around them hummed with activity. The Earth Defense Force had been created within weeks of the invasion, drawing the best and brightest from every nation's military and scientific communities. Their mission was clear: prepare humanity for the next war, one that everyone knew was coming. "Major Anderson," a voice called from the command platform. "The Security Council representatives have arrived for the demonstration." James straightened his uniform and made his way to the observation deck. The faces that greeted him were among the most powerful on Earth: military leaders, politicians, and scientists who now held humanity's fate in their hands. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, activating the holographic display. "What you're looking at is more than just our first starship. It's a statement of human ingenuity. The Drachnids thought their technology was beyond our understanding. They were wrong." The display showed cutaway views of the Prometheus's revolutionary systems. Salvaged alien tech had been seamlessly integrated with advanced human engineering, creating something entirely new. Where the Drachnids used pure energy shields, the EDF had developed a layered defense system, combining kinetic barriers with electromagnetic fields. Their weapon systems married human railgun technology with alien power sources, creating weapons that could adapt to any defense. "But the real breakthrough," James continued, "is what we've learned about our own potential. The Drachnid ships we salvage were designed for beings evolved in lower gravity environments. By modifying their systems to human specifications, we've actually improved their efficiency by over 300%. Admiral Rachel Cooper, the newly appointed head of the EDF, leaned forward. "And the combat simulations." James gestured to Lieutenant Parker, who brought up the combat data. "Our hybrid ships outperform pure alien technology in every category. We're not just catching up to their level. We're surpassing it." The room erupted in murmured discussions as the implications sank in. Humanity wasn't just learning to use alien technology. They were making it better. "There's more," James added, his voice cutting through the chatter. "The Prometheus is just the beginning. We've already begun construction on 5 more ships of her class, each one incorporating new improvements. Within a year, we'll have a fleet. Within 2, we'll have bases beyond the solar system." "And the crews?" someone asked. "How are they adapting to the new technology?" James smiled and pulled up another display, this one showing training sessions. "That's where we've had our greatest success. The EDF training program is unlike anything that's come before. We're not just teaching them to use advanced technology. We're teaching them to think in ways the enemy can't predict." The display showed Special Forces teams training in variable gravity environments, learning to use their natural human strength as a weapon. Engineers worked with hybrid systems, developing new ways to combine technologies that, according to alien logic, should never work together. The Drachnids will return, James concluded, his voice firm with conviction. And when they do, they won't find a primitive species scrambling to defend itself. They'll find the Earth Defense Force, ready and waiting. As if to punctuate his words, the Prometheus's engines roared to life behind them, the revolutionary drive system creating a deep harmonic that seemed to resonate with their very bones. It was the sound of humanity's future, of a species taking its first true steps into the stars. Admiral Cooper stood, her expression resolute. "Major Anderson, you have your authorization. Build us a fleet that will make the galaxy remember why they should fear Earth." Commander Ashley Martinez watched from the bridge of the Shadow of Terra as her stealth carrier slipped through the asteroid field of the Proxima Centauri system. The ship's quantum camouflage systems, reverse-engineered from Drachnid technology and enhanced by human ingenuity, rendered them virtually invisible to both visual and electronic detection. "Gravitational survey complete, Commander," Lieutenant Jack Reynolds reported from the science station. "We'd found what we're looking for, a hollow asteroid nearly 6 kilometers in diameter. Perfect for our first forward base." Ashley allowed herself a small smile. After 3 months of secret operations beyond Sol, the EDF's Hidden Fleet Initiative was about to plant its first seed among the stars. "Status of the construction drones?" she asked, moving to study the holographic display of their target. "Prepped and ready," Chief Engineer Maria Foster responded. "The new microfabrication units have been tested and calibrated. We can begin hollowing out the interior as soon as we establish a stable orbit." The bridge crew worked with practiced efficiency, their movements precise despite the excitement of the moment. They were the best Earth had to offer, chosen not just for their skills, but for their ability to think beyond conventional limitations. "Commander," the tactical officer, Thomas Wright, called out, "long-range sensors are picking up something interesting. Looks like a merchant vessel. Definitely not human design." Ashley's expression hardened. "Show me." The holographic display shifted, revealing a sleek vessel that moved with an almost organic grace through space. Its design was different from the Drachnid ships they'd encountered, more elegant, less crystalline. "Perfect timing," she said. "Launch the observer drones. Let's see what we can learn from our galactic neighbors." As the drones silently deployed, Ashley reflected on one of the most surprising discoveries they'd made since beginning their secret operations. The average alien crew member could only handle about 0.7 Earth gravity before showing signs of stress. Human bodies, evolved under Earth's heavier gravitational pull, were naturally stronger than most spacefaring species. "Data coming in now," Reynolds reported. "Their artificial gravity is set to..." "Hold on, that can't be right. They're operating at only 0.5 Earth standard." "No, that's correct," Ashley confirmed. "And it's why we're going to change the game. Lieutenant Foster, begin the installation of the variable gravity training chambers in the new base. I want our teams ready to exploit this advantage." Over the next several hours, the Shadow of Terra's crew watched as their construction drones began the delicate work of creating humanity's first extrasolar military installation. Using technology that blended human mining expertise with alien matter manipulation, they hollowed out vast chambers within the asteroid while leaving its exterior appearance unchanged. "Commander," Foster called out, "you should see this. We found something while excavating the lower levels." Ashley made her way to the engineering station, where holographic images showed what appeared to be ancient artificial structures within the asteroid. "We're not the first ones to have this idea," Foster said, her voice mixed with awe and concern. "These structures, they're old, really old. Document everything, but continue with the installation," Ashley ordered. "And increase security protocols. I want to know if anyone else comes looking for this place." As the day progressed, Ashley recorded her log entry, knowing it would be transmitted back to Earth through their quantum-entangled communication system. EDF Command. First phase of Operation Nightwatch is complete. Base Alpha installation proceeding as planned. We've confirmed our physiological advantage over most alien species, and we're adapting our training programs accordingly. The discovery of ancient structures within our chosen site raises new questions, but also confirms we're on the right strategic path. These stars have seen empires rise and fall. Now, they'll watch as humanity takes its place among them. Martine's out. The shadow of Terra continued its silent watch as the base took shape, its crew working tirelessly to establish humanity's first hidden stronghold among the stars. They were the vanguard of Earth's defense, the silent watchers who would ensure that when the next conflict came, humanity would not just be ready, they would be everywhere. Ambassador Michael Sullivan adjusted his tie as he studied the vast chamber of the Galactic Council. The circular room rose hundreds of meters above him, its crystalline walls shifting with holographic displays of thousands of star systems. Representatives from over 200 species filled the tiered seating, all of them watching Earth's first official diplomatic mission to the Council. The Drachnid Empire demands compensation for the unprovoked destruction of our peaceful survey fleet. The Drachnid representative, High Commander Vexthor, thundered from his elevated platform. His crystalline exoskeleton caught the light, creating threatening patterns across the chamber floor. Michael maintained his carefully practiced expression of humble concern. Through the neural link hidden behind his ear, he received a constant stream of data from EDF intelligence operatives already embedded throughout the station. Esteemed members of the Council, he began, his voice modulated to project just the right mix of respect and anxiety. Earth deeply regrets the recent misunderstanding with the Drachnid Empire. As a pre-FTL civilization, we had no way of knowing their intentions when their battle fleet appeared in our skies. A ripple of murmurs spread through the chamber. The Arthosian representative, a being of living metal and light, spoke next. Yet your primitive weapons managed to destroy several of the Empire's most advanced vessels. How do you explain this? Michael allowed a slight tremor to enter his voice. We were fortunate. Our planet's heavy gravity required us to develop unusually powerful propulsion systems for our space program. When the Drachnid ships appeared, we had no choice but to repurpose these technologies for defense. Through his neural link, he received a message from Captain Lisa Reynolds of EDF Intelligence. Drachnid security systems compromised. Downloading their full military database now. They still haven't detected our quantum infiltration protocols. The humans speak lies. Vexthor rage. Their technology could not have advanced so quickly without outside help. We demand an investigation of their world. Michael bowed his head slightly. We would welcome such an investigation. Once proper protocols are established, Earth has nothing to hide. The last words nearly made him smile, knowing that the EDF's hidden bases were far beyond the reach of any investigation. Another message flashed through his neural link. Analysis of Council chamber complete. Structural weaknesses identified and mapped. Security patrol routes documented. Primary and secondary escape routes confirmed. The Xylexian representative, a being of pure energy contained within an environmental suit, raised a question. What guarantees can Earth offer that it will not continue to develop military technology beyond its appropriate development stage? We seek only to protect our world, Michael responded, his voice heavy with manufactured sincerity. Earth will gladly accept technological restrictions appropriate to our development level. He didn't mention that those restrictions would be meaningless. The EDF had already surpassed much of the Council's advanced technology. Through the neural link. Ambassador, our agents report the Drachnids are planning something. Multiple encrypted communications detected between their representatives and unknown recipients. The council chamber erupted in debate, various species arguing over Earth's status and the appropriate response to the Drachnid demands. Michael stood quietly, playing the role of the overwhelmed representative from a primitive world, while his hidden systems recorded every word, every gesture, every hint of alliance or enmity among the gathered species. Finally, the council's high administrator, an ancient being named Urizel, raised their primary appendage for silence. The council has heard enough. Earth will be placed under observation, but no punitive actions will be taken. The Drachnid Empire's request for compensation is denied, as they violated first contact protocols. Michael bowed deeply. Earth thanks the council for its wisdom and understanding. As he straightened, his neural link delivered one final message. Operation Shadow Diplomat complete. All target data acquired. The EDF now has access to the complete technical and military records of every major species in the Council. As he left the chamber, Michael allowed himself a brief, genuine smile. Let them think Earth was just another primitive species learning its place in the galaxy. By the time they learned the truth, it would be far too late. Lieutenant Emma Richardson watched the tactical display as the pirate fleet dropped out of FTL near Earth's outer defense perimeter. 12 ships, their hulls a patchwork of stolen technology and crude modifications, led by the infamous Dreadwake, Krastul's personal vessel and the terror of 3 sectors. Right on schedule, she murmured, her fingers dancing across the holographic controls of Defense Platform Alpha. Status of the net. All quantum boys are in position and cloaked, ma'am, Sergeant Ryan Cooper reported from his station. They don't suspect a thing. The pirates had come expecting easy prey. A primitive world still reeling from its first contact with the wider galaxy. Intelligence had leaked reports of Earth's supposedly limited orbital defenses, creating an irresistible target for the notorious pirate lord. They're launching boarding shuttles, Technical Officer Jessica Barnes called out. Looks like they're following standard raider doctrine. Hit hard and fast, before the target can organize a response. Emma allowed herself a small predatory smile. Let them get nice and close. Tactical status of our visitors from the Galactic Council. The official observation vessel is holding position at the agreed safe distance, Barnes replied. Their sensors are definitely recording everything. Perfect. The EDF had known this day would come, had planned for it, prepared for it, and now would use it to send a message to the entire galaxy. All stations, execute Protocol Thunderstrike. Emma commanded, her voice steady and sure. Let's show them why you don't raid a wolf's den. The space around Earth's orbital stations suddenly came alive. Dozens of previously invisible defense platforms shimmered into view, their advanced hybrid weapons already locked on target. The quantum buoys activated, creating an interlocking web of gravitational distortions that made FTL escape impossible. By the void, one of the pirates' transmissions crackled through the command center. Those aren't primitive weapons. Those are. The rest of his message was lost as Emma gave the order to fire. The defense platforms unleashed a devastating barrage of combined human and alien technology. Kinetic rounds wrapped in quantum fields tore through shields designed to stop energy weapons. Graviton beams, enhanced by Earth's understanding of mass and acceleration, crushed hull plating like paper. Multiple direct hits, Cooper shouted, his voice tight with excitement. 3 enemy vessels disabled, 4 more taking critical damage. But it was what happened next that would truly shake the galaxy's understanding of human capabilities. As the surviving pirates attempted to retreat, Emma unleashed the EDF's secret weapon, the boarding teams. Strike teams Alpha through Delta. You are go for assault, she ordered. The command center screens showed the armored figures launching from concealed bays, their powered combat suits allowing them to move with impossible speed and strength in the zero-G environment. The pirates, used to fighting in low-gravity environments, were completely unprepared for warriors who could function at full Earth gravity. The boarding actions were over in minutes, with survivors babbling about steel giants and unstoppable demons. Krasthul's ship is making a run for the gravity well, Barnes reported. Should we disable them? Emma checked the position of the Council's observation vessel. No. Let them go. They'll spread the word better than any official report could. The entire engagement had lasted less than 20 minutes. Of the 12 pirate ships that had arrived, 5 were captured intact, 4 were destroyed, and 3, including the Dreadwake, were allowed to limp away, their crews forever changed by what they had witnessed. Later, as Emma filed her report, she included a special note about the Council's observation vessel. As intended, the official witnesses had a clear view of our defensive capabilities, or rather, of the capabilities we chose to show them. The message has been sent. Earth is not the easy target they thought we were. She added one final line. The pirates' surviving ships will spread tales of Earth's power throughout the criminal underground, while the Council's observers will file reports about our surprising level of technology. Both groups will underestimate us, exactly as planned. As she finished her report, Emma could already imagine the ripples this event would create throughout the galaxy. The age of humanity being seen as an easy target was over. The era of Earth being feared had begun. Admiral William Cooper stood on the bridge of the EDF Prometheus, his expression grim as the massive Drachnid world-breaker fleet emerged from FTL. The space around Saturn's rings lit up like a new sun as over 300 warships materialized. The largest invasion force the galaxy had seen in a millennium. Multiple signatures detected, Captain Emily Roberts reported from the tactical station, confirming 5 world-breaker-class dreadnoughts, 87 heavy cruisers, and, sir, they've brought their entire 3rd battle fleet. Just as intelligence predicted, Cooper replied, his voice steady, despite the overwhelming display of force before them. Status of Operation Thunderstorm. All EDF ships report ready, Commander Mark Davidson responded. Hidden bases Alpha through Delta have deployed their strike forces. The quantum web is in place. The Drachnid fleet formed up in their traditional crystal wave formation, their ships creating a lattice pattern that had broken the defenses of 100 worlds. Their first transmission came as expected. Primitive vermin of Earth, the voice of High Admiral Zexkar boomed through the command channel. Your previous victory was a fluke. Surrender now, and we will make your extinction quick. Cooper allowed himself a small smile. All ships, execute Stormbreak Protocol. Show them what humanity has learned since our last meeting. What happened next would be studied in military academies across the galaxy for centuries to come. The seemingly small Earth defense fleet suddenly multiplied as hundreds of ships dropped their quantum camouflage, appearing from within the rings of Saturn and the shadows of its moons. But it wasn't just their numbers that shocked the Drachnids, it was their design. By the void, a Drachnid commander's voice crackled over the intercepted channels. Those ships, they're using our own technology against us. The EDF fleet represented the perfect fusion of human and alien engineering. Where the Drachnids relied on pure energy weapons, Earth's ships launched graviton-enhanced kinetic rounds that changed mass mid-flight. Where Drachnid shields were designed to stop energy attacks, human vessels used layered defenses that adapted to any threat. Launch strike teams Alpha through Zeta, Cooper ordered. Let's show them what Earth gravity training really means. Special Forces teams in advanced combat suits launched from hidden bays, their enhanced physiology and superior strength, making them nearly unstoppable in ship-to-ship combat. The Drachnids, evolved for lower gravity environments, found themselves facing opponents who moved like giants among them. Sir, Roberts called out. They're trying to reform their lines. The world breakers are moving to central position. Perfect, Cooper said. Execute Phase 2, like the storm. The quantum web, hidden until now, activated. Hundreds of micro-singularity generators created a web of gravitational distortions, turning the Drachnid's precise formation against them. Ships designed to work in perfect crystalline harmony found their careful calculations disrupted by constantly shifting gravitational fields. Multiple enemy ships reporting drive failures, Davidson announced. Their formation is breaking apart. They can't maintain their battle lattice. Cooper keyed the command channel. All ships, commence Thunder Protocol. Break their back. The EDF fleet moved with devastating precision, using tactics that no traditional space navy would consider. Ships jumped through micro-FTL hops, appearing inside the enemy formation. Boarding teams struck from quantum shadows, taking control of enemy vessels before their crews could react. "Sir," Roberts said, her voice filled with pride, "the first world breaker has gone dark." Strike teams report full control of their command center. The battle continued for hours, but the outcome was never in doubt. The Drachnid fleet, for all its power, was fighting an enemy that had studied them for years, had learned their weaknesses, and had developed specific counters to every advantage they possessed. As the last world breaker surrendered, Cooper broadcast on all frequencies. "This is Admiral William Cooper of the Earth Defense Force. Your fleet is defeated. Your ships are captured or destroyed. Remember this day, not as the day of your defeat, but as the day you learned why the galaxy should fear Earth." The message would echo across the stars, carried by quantum channels and survivors' tales. Humanity had not just survived the Drachnid Empire's greatest fleet. They had broken it completely. The age of human dominance had begun, written in thunder and lightning among the rings of Saturn. Colonel Rebecca Foster watched as the Arthosian ambassador's crystalline form shifted colors, in obvious discomfort. The demonstration arena's gravity had been set to Earth standard, and even after just 10 minutes, the alien diplomat was struggling to maintain their usual graceful composure. "Perhaps we should adjust the gravity settings," the ambassador suggested, their voice modulator barely hiding their strain. "Of course," Rebecca replied with a diplomatic smile. "Though I should mention, our Marines train at double Earth gravity." She gestured to the arena below, where EDF Special Forces were conducting combat exercises in their latest generation of powered armor. The observation deck was filled with representatives from 24 species, all of them here to witness Earth's military capabilities firsthand. After the destruction of the Drachnid World Breaker fleet, the galaxy's political landscape had shifted dramatically. Former enemies now sought alliances, and old powers scrambled to understand the rise of this new force. "Impossible," the Zalaxian military attaché muttered, their energy form flickering with agitation. No organic species could function effectively under such conditions. Rebecca activated the arena's main display. "Battle Simulation Alpha, execute," she commanded. The arena transformed into a recreation of the Saturn engagement. Holographic projectors showed how EDF forces had systematically dismantled the most powerful fleet in known space. The aliens watched in stunned silence as human boarding teams moved through zero-G environments with impossible speed and strength, their enhanced physiology and advanced combat suits making them appear almost supernatural. "Your technology," the Moravian Science Council started, their 4 eyes blinking in sequence. "It's unlike anything we've seen. The integration of multiple technical philosophies should be impossible. Humanity has always excelled at achieving the impossible," Rebecca responded. She nodded to her executive officer, Lieutenant James Chen, who activated the next phase of their demonstration. The arena floor cleared, and a squad of EDF Marines began a live combat exercise. They moved through varying gravity fields, from zero-G to triple Earth normal. Their movements fluid and precise, Their weapons shifted seamlessly between conventional kinetic rounds and energy-based attacks, adapting to each new challenge the training system presented. As you can see, Rebecca continued, every member of the EDF is trained to operate in any environment, using any combination of technologies. We don't believe in limiting ourselves to a single approach. The Arthosian ambassador's colors had shifted to deep blue, a sign of deep thought among their species. The rumors about your hidden bases throughout the galaxy are likely underestimated, Rebecca finished for them. She brought up another display, showing the known galaxy. The EDF believes in being prepared. Our reach extends further than anyone suspects. A sudden commotion drew their attention back to the arena. One of the Marines had just completed an impossible-seeming maneuver, moving from 0G to triple gravity, while maintaining perfect accuracy with their weapon systems. The alien observers murmured among themselves, their various physiologies displaying clear signs of unease. "We're not here to threaten," Rebecca assured them, her voice firm but diplomatic. "Earth seeks allies, not subjects. But we believe in making sure our friends know exactly what we're capable of." The Moravian consul stepped forward. "And if some species choose not to ally with Earth?" Rebecca's expression remained pleasant, but her eyes hardened slightly. "Then they should remember the Drachnid fleet. We prefer friendship, but we excel at war." As if to emphasize her point, the arena erupted in a display of combined arms combat. Marines in powered armor worked in perfect sync with combat drones and AI-enhanced weapon systems, demonstrating tactics that broke every convention of traditional space warfare. "The galaxy is changing," Rebecca concluded, watching the aliens' reactions carefully. "Earth isn't just taking its place among the stars. We're rewriting the rules of engagement. Those who stand with us will benefit from our protection. Those who stand against us." She let the thought hang unfinished as the Marines below executed another perfect combat sequence. The message was clear. The era of dismissing Earth as a primitive backwater was over. A new power had risen among the stars, and its name was spoken with equal parts respect and fear throughout the galaxy. Fleet Admiral David Mitchell stood at the viewport of the EDF flagship Humanity's Dawn, his eyes fixed on the spectacular view before him. The massive ship hung in high orbit above Earth, surrounded by the most diverse collection of alien vessels ever assembled in the Sol system. Representatives from 15 different species had come to sign the Human Defensive Pact, formally acknowledging Earth's new role as a major power in the galaxy. "Quite a change from 5 years ago," Vice Admiral Rachel Turner remarked, coming to stand beside him. "Remember when the Drachnids thought we were just another primitive world to conquer?" David smiled, remembering those early days. "They did use a favor, really. Their arrogance gave us time to prepare, to build, to perfect our technologies while they thought we were still learning basic spaceflight." The command deck of the Humanity's Dawn was a testament to how far they'd come. Holographic displays showed real-time status updates from EDF bases and fleets throughout known space, while quantum communication arrays maintained instant contact with Earth's ever-growing sphere of influence. "Sir," Lieutenant Commander Jason Harris called from his station, "the diplomatic parties are ready to begin the signing ceremony. The Arthosian Confederation has requested to speak first." "Very well," David nodded. "Begin transport sequence. Let's show them how we do things on Earth." The ship's advanced quantum transportation system, a perfect blend of human innovation and alien technology, began bringing the delegates aboard. Each alien representative was met by an honor guard of EDF Marines in ceremonial power armor, a not-so-subtle reminder of Earth's military prowess. The Arthosian speaker, their crystalline form shimmering with formal colors, addressed the gathered assembly. 5 years ago, we thought Earth was a primitive world of no consequence. Today, we stand in a ship that surpasses our greatest technological achievements, ready to entrust our security to the very species we once dismissed. David stepped forward to the central platform. The gravity in the chamber had been set to Earth standard. Another subtle reminder of human strength. The Human Defensive Pact is more than just a military alliance, he began. It's a promise. Earth will share its innovations, its unique perspective, and yes, its protection, with all who choose to stand with us. The Xylaxian representative's energy form pulsed with agreement. The recent suppression of the Centaurian pirates proved Earth's commitment. No other force could have eliminated that threat so thoroughly, or so efficiently, added the Moravian delegate. The EDF's combat doctrine has revolutionized warfare itself. As the formal signing began, David received a private message through his neural link. Commander Sarah Reynolds of Intelligence Division had news from the Outer Rim. Sir, our deep space arrays have detected something unusual, possible signs of non-galactic technology. David kept his expression neutral as he processed this information. Earth had suspected they weren't alone in the universe. The ancient structures found in their first hidden base had hinted at civilizations far beyond current understanding. Continue monitoring, he vocalized back, and activate Protocol Sentinel. If something's coming from outside the galaxy, we'll be ready. The signing ceremony continued, each species adding their mark to the historic document. As they did, David couldn't help but feel pride in how far humanity had come. They had taken their place among the stars not through conquest or subjugation, but through innovation, adaptation, and the sheer determination that had always characterized their species. The pact is signed, he announced to the assembly. Let this day mark the beginning of a new era in galactic history. Together, we will face whatever challenges the universe presents. As if in response to his words, the Humanities Dawn's massive engines hummed to life, their unique harmonic a perfect symbol of human engineering. The fusion of multiple technologies into something greater than the sum of its parts. The gathered representatives watched in awe as a full honor guard of EDF ships decloaked around them, their advanced hybrid technology a reminder of why the galaxy had learned to fear and respect the once primitive world called Earth. The age of human dominance had truly begun, but it was only the first chapter in an even greater story. As David looked out at the stars, he knew that humanity's greatest challenges and greatest triumphs still lay ahead.